Once upon a time, there was a poor miller who had 3 sons. When the miller died, he left his mill to the eldest son, his donkey to the middle son, and his cat to the youngest. The youngest son, feeling disappointed, said, "What am I to do with a cat? I can't even afford to feed myself, let alone an animal." To his surprise, the cat spoke. "Don't worry, master," said the cat. "Give me a pair of boots and a bag, and I will make you a wealthy man." Although skeptical, the young man gave the cat what he asked for. The cat put on the boots, slung the bag over his shoulder, and went out into the fields. He caught a plump rabbit and presented it to the king. "Your Majesty," said the clever cat, bowing deeply, "this is a gift from my master, the Marquis of Carabas." The king, impressed, accepted the gift and thanked the Marquis of Carabas warmly. Over the next few weeks, Puss in Boots continued to bring the king gifts of game, always attributing them to his master. One day, Puss learned that the king and his beautiful daughter would be riding through the countryside. He turned to his master and said, "Do exactly as I say, and your fortune will be made." The cat instructed his master to bathe in the river at a spot where the royal carriage would pass. While his master was in the water, Puss hid his tattered clothes and waited for the king to arrive. When the carriage approached, Puss ran out, crying, "Help! Help! My master, the Marquis of Carabas, is drowning." The king stopped the carriage and ordered his servants to rescue the young man. When they pulled him from the water, he had no clothes, so the king offered him fine garments. The miller's son, now dressed as a nobleman, looked so handsome that the king's daughter immediately took notice of him. While they traveled together, Puss ran ahead to a grand castle owned by a powerful and wicked ogre. This ogre was feared throughout the land because he could transform into any creature he pleased. Puss, unafraid, knocked on the door and said, "I have heard you can turn yourself into any creature. Is it true?" The ogre, proud of his abilities, said, "Of course." To prove it, he turned into a roaring lion. "Impressive," said Puss. "But I doubt you could turn into something as small as a mouse." "Har!" scoffed the ogre. "Watch me." And in an instant, he transformed into a tiny mouse. Quick as a flash, Puss pounced on the mouse and ate it. With the ogre gone, Puss claimed the castle as his master's property. When the king's carriage arrived, Puss greeted them at the castle gates. "Welcome to the castle of my master, the Marquis of Carabas," he announced. The king was amazed by the grandeur of the castle and the vast lands surrounding it. He was so impressed that he happily gave his daughter's hand in marriage to the miller's son. From that day on, the miller's son lived as the Marquis of Carabas, with his clever and loyal cat by his side. Together, they enjoyed a life of wealth, happiness, and adventure. Moral of the story: cleverness and resourcefulness can turn even the simplest of situations into great success.